Senator Feinstein.
Thank you very much, Leader, and thank you to my colleagues for being here and being part of a team that wants to put together two new policies for this country. As has been said, simply put, we must do more to protect the homeland against any possible terrorist attack like we saw in Paris, Beirut, and Egypt. And today, as has been said, we're talking about just two common sense steps that both political parties should agree on: strengthening the visa waiver program, ensuring that terrorists cannot buy firearms or explosives here in this country. Regarding the visa waiver program, this program is important to the business community and the tourism industry, and I have supported it. But I also believe it is the soft underbelly of our national security policies. 20 million people each year from 38 countries, including France and Belgium, use the visa waiver program. This means they don't need a traditional visa to travel here and therefore undergo less scrutiny. This means terrorists could exploit the program, could go from France to Syria, as 2,000 fighters have done, come back to France, use the visa waiver program, and without further scrutiny, come into the United States. Considering there are 45 million lost or stolen travel documents on the global black market today, many of them passports, it's clear we need to reform the program. The bill we're working on, all of us together, would make several changes. First, anyone who traveled to Syria or Iraq in the last 5 years cannot travel to the United States using the visa waiver program, period. They can still visit, but they need a traditional visa, a process that includes an in-person interview at a U.S. embassy or consulate. Second, the bill requires additional information from travelers before they arrive in the United States, to include fingerprints and photographs. At each step along the way, we want to know the individual traveling here, who is he or she, and who do they say they are. Third, the bill would require all individuals using the visa waiver program to have a passport with an e-chip to store biometric data. This e-chip is more secure and harder to tamper with and contains an individual's biometric information. This is my passport. This is the logo, which says this is an electronic passport as well. When I travel, I will present this, which has my photo, such as it is, and, has my photo, and I will show it to whomever, TSA, Homeland Security, whoever asks, and they can ring up this passport, which has my fingerprints and my actual photo. This prevents this passport from being tampered with. And these are now traditionally given out in the last 5 or so years. So anyone that gets a new passport, it will be with this ability. Countries in the visa waiver program also must do more to enhance security. This means reporting lost and stolen passports to the United States and Interpol, as well as screening against Interpol's data, sharing intelligence about foreign fighters, some of this is already happening, and sharing biometric information collected during the refugee or asylum process. Our bill will be a straightforward solution that can make a real difference. I want it to be a bipartisan bill as well. Senator Flake has agreed to be the lead Republican on the bill, and we look forward to working with him. We plan to introduce the bill after Thanksgiving. The second issue we are addressing is closing a gaping loophole that allows known or suspected terrorists to legally buy firearms or explosives in our country. In other words, they don't have to bring it with them. They can buy it once they get here. I introduced a bill in February, which, as Senator Schumer said, had been introduced by Senator Lautenberg to close this loophole. The bill is also introduced in the House by Republican Congressman Peter King. The bill would allow the Attorney General to block the sale of explosives or firearms if a purchaser is on a terrorist watch list and may use the firearm in connection with terrorism. I think this is a no-brainer. If you're too dangerous to board a plane, you're too dangerous to buy a gun. Language in this bill is identical to language supported by George Bush's Justice Department in 2007. So it's been around for a long time, and it's not a partisan issue. Many of us were surprised, as Chuck has said, to learn how often this loophole is exploited. From 2004 to 2014, over a 10-year period, the GAO, known as the Government Accountability Office, took a look at this, and they report that of the 2,233 people on the FBI's terrorist watch list who went through a background check to buy a weapon, of those, 2,043 passed that background check and likely purchased a firearm or explosives. Now that means that 91% of the people on the FBI's watch list who try to buy weapons in this country are in fact able to do so. To me, this is just a shocking statistic and one which might be addressed. So these are two common sense fixes that our team wants to go ahead with, and we very much hope that Republicans will agree, at least enough of them, to get it passed and get it signed by the president. They both can make a difference. Thank you very much, Leader.